Good afternoon. Today, the governor will sign the Unmasked Georgia Students Act. I'm grateful to be working alongside the governor yet again to fight for the well-being of students and uphold the rights of their parents. The Unmasked Georgia Student Act reaffirms what has always been true. Parents are the best decision maker for when it comes to the health and education of their children. This legislation ensures those rights will not be infringed upon by misguided policies. This bill ensures that no local board of education, governing board, superintendent, or state charter school can impose a mandate or ruling requiring students to wear a mask without an opt-out option. This does not remove the mask rules or mandates, and students are not prevented from wearing masks because of this legislation. The conversation around mask mandates is a bipartisan issue, and we've seen around the nation where Republican and Democrat governors have rolled back mask mandates over the past several months. Regardless of political party, our children should not be required to wear masks that inhibits learning. Georgia is moving safely out of the global pandemic, and we need to begin to return to normal in the classrooms, and this is the first step in doing so. It's past time for children to return normal in the classroom and for their parents to make the decisions for their children and not the government. And I would also like to close by thanking all the parents that are here with us today and the ones that couldn't be here today. They are the true champions for this legislation. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Holly Trey, and I am a Gwinnett County parent and in support of this legislation. I want to thank Governor Kemp and Senator Dixon for this opportunity to speak with you all today. For many students, the enforcement of masks in the classroom had greatly impacted the social and emotional learning needs they were so desperately trying to fulfill. I'm concerned what we will learn as years go by regarding the impact mandating masks in the classroom will have on our children. But I feel an equal sense of gratitude today, knowing that Unmasked Georgia Students Act is being signed into law. I think you can best assess the weight of something by the response of that weight being lifted. Here are just a few responses from Georgia students when learning that their schools went mask optional. Hadley, a second grader, was excited to know she didn't have to wear a mask to speech therapy any longer. Brady, a seventh grader, jumped for joy, exclaiming how excited he was to see his friends' faces. Gabriel, a fifth grader, told his mom, "Finally, I can breathe again." His little brother, Maddox, a third grader, shared how excited he was to see his best friend smile. William, a sixth grader, was excited to learn he could return to his favorite sport, soccer, mask-free. For Gracie, a student with hearing loss, she said she can finally understand what her peers are saying and vice versa. 8-year-old Rachel said school without masks now feels like a happy place to go, where everyone is excited and ready to learn. And for my daughters, Lydia, a fifth grader, and Sophia, a third grader, who both jumped up and down for joy because it meant being able to return to their public school. Many parents like myself withdrew their children, some even moved, in an effort to give them a learning environment that did not require them to cover their face. The number one way to mitigate the suffering some children have experienced is by allowing parents to be parents and for them to ultimately decide what is best for their child. Senator Clint Dixon recently stated that local control doesn't get more local than the parents. I wholeheartedly agree. Signing this act today ensures that this excitement for school and learning and seeing our friends' faces and smiling will in fact stay for the next 5 years. I will close with this. In response to the Unmasked Georgia Students Act, Libby, a Georgia student, did the math in her head, smiled ear to ear, looked at her mom and said, "I won't have to worry about being forced to wear a mask for the rest of my high school career. Thank you, God." I want to... On behalf of parents all across the state of Georgia, I want to sincerely give thanks to Senator Clint Dixon and Governor Brian Kemp for signing this piece of legislation today. It means the world to parents like us. Thank you.
Again, good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be with you. As State School Superintendent of Georgia, this is a definitely strong signal of that normalcy is returning back to us as a state. I would like to thank Governor Kemp, Senator Dixon, and all the members of the General Assembly who signed on to make this a reality and bring us to this point, this day in time. The bill is great news for our parents. It's great news for our students. When it comes to masks, vaccines, or other personal health decisions, they have complete say of what needs to be done. And as already been mentioned, putting control of a child's education in the hands of the parents is where it needs to be. And I say this as an individual who suffered a pretty serious case of COVID-19 in August and September. But let's be clear about what the bill does not do. It does not prevent anyone from wearing a mask if they choose. It simply recognizes the authority of parents to make health decisions for their own children. And that's exactly, as I shared, how it should be. I look forward to continue to work with the Governor Kemp and General Assembly on legislation that continues to protect our kids, empower our parents, and lets our teachers teach. And at this time, it's my pleasure to bring to the podium the strongest chief executive when it comes to supporting public education that I have seen personally in my lifetime as a student, as a parent, or as a superintendent, as a teacher, and that is the great governor of the state of Georgia, Governor Brian Kemp. Thank you.
Well, thank you all very much. Well, first of all, let me just say good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. It is another great day in the state of Georgia. We're glad to have you guys with us today. I appreciate Superintendent Wood's comments and kind words and also his leadership. I want to thank Holly for standing up with many other parents all across this state for what you believe in and for helping your children, and thank you for your remarks and for being here today. As always, I'm proud to stand with our great First Lady, Marty Kemp, as well as Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan, who's with us today. I know Speaker Ralston was trying to get here. I want to thank him for his leadership on this issue. I mentioned Superintendent Woods. Obviously, one of my floor leaders, Senator Clint Dixon, and Representative Lauren McDonald, who did such a great job working with the other members of the General Assembly that are here today that voted for and supported empowering our families and our students. I want to thank the concerned parents and local educational leaders that we have with us, but especially our students as we prepare to sign SB 514, the Unmask Georgia Students Act, into law. This will ensure that parents have the final say when it comes to the health and well-being of their child. Throughout the last 2 years, Georgia led the nation by standing up for our citizens' right to choose how to best protect themselves and their loved ones. Despite heavy criticism from all sides, we were the first to reopen our economy, leading to record economic success in the Peach State, while blue state lockdowns caused generational losses around the country. We led the way on getting our kids back into the classroom because that's where the data and the science have always said they should be. We never instituted statewide mask mandates, and we fought back against ridiculous federal overreach and sweeping Biden vaccine mandates in court, and we won. Time and time again, we trusted our people to be part of the solution, not part of the problem. And most importantly, we did not back down after we made these decisions, because our goal in this state was to do two things: protect both lives but also livelihoods. And we did what was right. And because we stood together, our state is better for it. Today, as we continue to safely move out of the pandemic, we are taking another important step to make sure our students are not the victims of those who continue to play pandemic politics. The Unmask Georgia Students Act guarantees the rights of parents to make health care decisions in the best interest of their children. Upon my signature, this bill will ensure that no local board of education, governing board, superintendent, or personnel at any public school system or state chartered school can unilaterally impose a mask mandate on students without providing parents the choice to opt their child out. It's a common sense. It is a common sense measure that puts parents in charge, not the government. As we all work together to overcome the lingering effects of the pandemic on our daily lives, it's time for a complete return to the normalcy for Georgia students. And that's why I'm proud to stand with those here today to sign this bill into law as we continue to fight for our values, deliver on our promises to the people of this state, and round out the final days of this legislation. I am committed to fighting for policies that put our parents and students ahead of partisan politics. And I know together we can ensure Georgia students have every opportunity to succeed in the classroom. So again, thank you all for being here today. Thank you for standing up to fight the good fight. May God bless you, and may He continue to bless this great state of Georgia. And I want to ask these kids, are y'all ready for me to sign this bill? Yeah. Let's do it. You ready? Can I have some of your cheese? No. Come on, kids. Mark, come on up here. Hey, buddy. Come on, you want to stand up here with me on a Smarty? Y'all come on up here where you can see. There you go. Come on up here, girl. What's the date today? Do y'all know?
Yeah.
What day is it? The 30th?
29th.
29th?
Yeah,
29th? You sure?
Yeah.
All right, that's good. All right, y'all ready? Everybody watching? Here we go. I'm going to give you that pen right there. How about that? Here, you want a pen? You want a pen? Here you go. You want that? No, you can't sign it. Hold on. We'll let you sign it in a minute. You want a pen?
Yeah.
All right. Pen? Yes, sir.
Governor, I promised a pen over here to somebody.
You got it. There you go, good.
There you go.
Get you one. You got another one.
We got plenty of pens. All right, we're done. We got it done. All right, thank y'all for being here.